Alrighty. So, the context in this problem is a little bit of a stretch sometimes, but it's doing good things. So we're going to rock it anyway. But what we have here is that you have a friend who knows she paid $16,368 specifically to buy her car. You want to know what the list price is, meaning the number that was written on the window. Why you want to know? I don't know. But you want to know, because we're curious, I guess, what the list price is of the car. So, this friend is in Arizona. Sales tax is 6.6%. She paid, the check came out of her bank account, it said $16,368. What was the number written on the window? So how much is it before tax? So how can we find that out? You're super close, because it's not that we're going to multiply the 16,368 by 6.6. We need this to be the total left, which I don't like that pen. This is the total left after they've paid the 6.6%. Yeah, so if we set it up as an equation, it's going to equal 16,368. What is going to equal 16,368? If we're finding the price, that's what we don't know. So, yeah, so it can be X, or you can do P, whatever works for you. Because whatever it's going to be is going to be the list price of the car, the price of the car, the number on the window, and then tax. So we're going to have the number on the window, and then we have to include the tax. How do we find the tax we pay on that car? How can I calculate what the tax will be? If it's 6.6%. We're going to multiply the cost times what? 6.6%. Is it just going to be times 6.6? Times what? 0.066%. 2 spaces. Move the decimal point. So we're going to have x plus x times 0.66 equals this. That means with the tax included, it costs that. So if this is 1x and this is 0.066 times x, can I combine those together? To what? Not 2x. That would be if I'm multiplying. What I have here is 1x plus, I'm just going to switch this around, 0.066x. 368. Fixing that so it's less obtrusive. If I have 1x plus 0.066x. What if it was 1x plus 1x? 2x. What if it was 1x plus 0.5x? What if it's 1x plus 0.05x? 1.05, right? So what if it's 1x plus 0.066x? This is really 1.066 times x equals that cost. 16368. And luckily you guys have way more space on your page to write than I do, because I am running out of space. So how much was the car? How much was the sticker on the window? What do we do to get that by itself? Divide it. Use a calculator. We have several that live in our pockets, or I have several back here. Type it in. What do we get? It would be 60. Because for money, we always round to 2 decimal places. Whenever it's money, we will never tell you how to round when it's money, because money is always locked in at 2 decimal places every single time. And that is true, I believe, for all currencies across the globe use 2 decimal places, as far as I'm aware. I mean, I don't know that yen uses decimals at all. Okay, so her car, when she walked into the lot, had 15,354 and 60 written on the window. I don't know why you needed to know, but you needed to know because it was calling to your soul. For part B, you have another friend who goes, oh my gosh, I paid the exact same amount, but I live in New York. It's like they were check twinsies. They wrote the exact same check to the car company, because apparently we're comparing finances, because that's a thing we do. I don't know. Like I said, context is a little ridiculous, but it's good math, so we're going to do the thing. So then we're going to say, all right. My friend who lives in New York, who also bought a car for $16,368, what was the price on her window? Where the New York sales tax is 8.25%. So do this one. I want you to try it. It's a very, very similar vibe. Try it. Do the thing. We'll walk through it in just a second, but I want you to try it first. I have seen so many Hogwarts costumes today, and it's fantastic. That's why I was really excited that it wasn't Disney Day again, because it's been Disney for the last 3 years, which is, I think, why all the people who own robes are wearing them today, because we haven't been able to for 3 years, because they've been doing Disney. And yeah, I know no one would call me on it, but I'm a stickler for rules. So I'm like, if it's Disney Day, I'm not wearing Universal, because this is Universal. But I own so much of it. I put down my wand. Where's my wand? I got my wand. And it's a pen. Oh, yes. But I am very much ready to be out of this spirit Halloween wig. It's very itchy. Drive me nuts. A little bit. It's better than the Wish wig, though, surprisingly. All right, what do we think? How are we going to do it? You guys can walk me through it. What is our equation going to be? That was very much like this one. Mm-hmm. 825 equals 16,368. That sounds perfection. So it's the exact same setup. Exact same setup. It's just with a different tax rate. That's the only piece that changed. So we had our rate at the top, and then we switched it to we had our percent at the top, and we switched it to be the rate. So then we can combine our like terms and get our 1.0825x equals 16368. What did our friend in New York have listed on the window in her car? 1,120. I have 0.55, but that doesn't mean I'm right. So let me do it real quick. 16368 divided by 1.0825. No, another point. Yeah, since it's 554, since it's not 4, we round down. It's going to be 55. I don't know how. It's driving me nuts. All right. Questions on these two? Because the next one kicks it up a notch. Because now it's going to be a very similar vibe, but this time they're not telling us the rate. The rate is R. Not the percent, the rate. Hello, dear. Thank you.
I gave you a couple of extra blanks.
Okay.
So if kids didn't get registered, they can add their name.
Okay. So if they, yeah, because that's less than half.
Yep.
Okay. Those are not my kids. That's Folleton.
Oh, did I give it on my?
Yep.
There you go.
There we go. That's me. I see how my door numbers is. That's half of them. Okay. So this time they're not giving us the actual percent. We're going to use an R. Just the letter R. So we're going to use these equations just like we did here. And we're even going to get to here. Just with an R instead of the decimal. So when we ever have the tax rate, this is already the decimal. So we're going to treat it like it's decimal. We don't have to switch it from percent to a decimal. It's in decimal form. So like, for example, it was 6.6%. Our tax rate was the 0.066, just to clarify the thought. So this is the rate. This is the percent. So it's already as a decimal. So we're still going to have the price of the car plus whatever our tax rate is times that price of the car, right? Equals, and we're still keeping that 16,368 because for some reason we have hyper-focused on that number, and now we're making theoreticals. How we could fill it out. We have made a choice. I am going to rewrite that number because I do not like the way my handwriting looks there. That's better. We can still even combine our like terms here and get my x's together. I can take the 1 that's in front of that first x and the r in front of the second x and add them together to get that 1 plus r times x equals our 16,368. So we can do that there. Then what we're going to do, and this is going to kind of push us into what we're going to work on tomorrow. Tomorrow, where we'll do more of this. I want us to try and solve for r. Get it to be r equals. Not x equals, not 1 plus r equals, r equals. So try for a couple minutes, see if we can get r by itself. You've done it, but it's been a minute. Okay, so try and get r by itself in this equation here. Okay, what's our instinct? How can I try and get r by itself here? If we have 1 plus r times x equals 16,368. What can I do to get r by itself? What can we do to get him by himself? I'm not going to distribute. I mean, you could, but we're going to wind up then dividing anyway. I'm not going to subtract 1 because it's inside the parentheses. What is outside the parentheses that I can deal with first? That x. What is happening? Oops. What is happening in here between the r and the x? Multiplication. How do we undo multiplication? Divide. To undo multiplication, we're going to divide. We're going to divide by x here because we want r by itself. So that's going to make this x and this x cancel out. It's going to leave us 1 plus r equals 16368 divided by x. Are my parentheses doing anything on the left-hand side? Or are they just kind of in the way now? Do we have anything outside the parentheses? No, so we don't really need them. So let's drop those off. 1 plus r, switch my r back to pink, equals 16368 over x. And I still want that r by itself. So I don't care if this side's a hot mess. What do I do to get r by itself over there? What do we do with the 1? Subtract 1. If I subtract 1 from this side, that 1's going to cancel out. And I can just subtract 1 from this side. So we're going to have r equals this hot mess of crazy. 16368 over x minus 1 tells me the rate. So when I was going with my friends before, I'm like, I know what number is on the sticker. I just forget what the tax rate is in my state. You could figure it out that way. We're going to be working tomorrow with some more of these. They are called literal equation because there are literally too many letters. Okay, so it's made of letters. That would be literature, literal equations. So they're going to have more letters than numbers tomorrow. And that's what we're going to work through. We're going to practice playing with them, working with them, getting certain letters by themselves, solving for a letter. Okay, so we're going to work with that more. But this was kind of our first foray into the literal equation. When we're working with literal equations, oftentimes the answer that we get does not look better than the original equation we had. But it has a reason, I promise. Okay, they don't look better, but they are better. Okay, so complete any of the homeworks that we have. We've done up to homework 2.2. So use this time to catch up on that. 2.3 will be this week. And then I believe 2.4 is next week. Do we have a 2.4? I don't even remember if there's 2.4 in this chapter. What's that? Same for you? Yeah. What's
No, I ain't going to the bathroom. I got a question.
I know. I'm right past him for there. What's up?
So this one, right?
Mhm.
This last one, I only missed one, and
Uh-huh.
you have this one.
So say it again for me.
Like I only missed one though, so like.
It says you haven't done it. That one doesn't say you missed it. That's 2.3.
Wait, that's not the one. Not it.
And it could just be that it's waiting for me to grade it.
Oh yeah.
So if you're looking at it and they're gray, that's waiting for me. If it's red, that's wrong.
Mm.
So if it's gray, it's waiting for me to grade it.
Alright, so what about this one? Because I know I did it, but.
There you go, dear.
I'm gonna ask if like a cup or something.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
do I just go?
I'll let you pass, just because he gets in a mood, especially end of the day. I'm listening.
So this one, I got the highest score on the second try.
Then it'll update when I send it over. It'll take the highest one.
I need your help with something else again.
Okay, what's up?
So I'm taking my national gap test,
Mm-hmm.
and I need help with this one because I don't really know how to solve it though.
Let me see what it's got.
Something like this. How do you
Mhm.
solve it?
So you're trying to write your own equation. So it's very much like what we did, like what we're doing,
And
like we did here.
We can't use calculator though.
Okay, so write the equation on paper.
Can I get a book?
Yeah, there's paper there. Don't try and do it in your head. No calculator doesn't mean no paper. Write things down, okay? So try and write an equation for it.
Can I see?
Can you what?
No, hold on. Let me